Hey there guys, how's it going? My name's Kyle, welcome to K6 Outdoors. We've got some problems with my Hustler Raptor SD, mainly the fact that it won't move. We're gonna dig into why that is, and we're gonna get the parts and get it fixed. Now just a little bit of backstory to what happened here. I was backing the mower out of my shed to get the yard mowed before I left on a trip, and pushed forward on the control arms, and all I hear was a bunch of random noises, and the mower didn't go anywhere. Ended up having to pull it over here to the shop, and I realized the damage was worse than I initially had thought. At a first glance, I thought I first needed just the hydro drive belt, which is kind of expected with the fact this thing has 250 hours on it. But after a little further inspection, I found out it was much more, and it was one of the dreaded problems that people have with these Hustler mowers. Now, I don't have a car lift or anything like that here, so, I use moving blankets to help myself not lay directly on the concrete. But after a little further inspection, not only is the belt broken, but we have broken bracketry from the classic problem people have with these rear mounts on the hydraulic motors here. The one on the driver's side looks okay, but the one on the passenger side is clean broken off. And after looking on the Amazon site of the kits they have to offer, because I'm not going to buy from Hustler. At this point, I don't trust them. I'd rather buy Chinese kits than Hustler because this is unacceptable, honestly. Anyway, after further inspection of those kits, I found some other brackets that apparently are in question. So looking again a little closer at this unit, I found another problem that's honestly a little bit more concerning to me, and hopefully we don't have any major damage. Get this back tire up so we can see it easier, but there's a bolt walking out of the front bracket of this unit here. It doesn't look broken, but it's been loose for quite a little while, so that's not a good thing. Definitely super spoiled that I have a shop like this. I have the AC running to be able to do this. It is 97,500 degrees outside, and I would be cussing every storm, and I'd be doing more cussing than I would be getting work completed. So I'm glad that I have this. We're going to go ahead and pop this back wheel off here, show you guys more of what's going on, and hopefully with these parts we can quickly get this thing fixed. So just a little closer inspection here. This back bracket is not broken, but we're going to be replacing it since I have it off. We're going to have to replace that bracket here because, again, it's sheared off right there. So we've got that replacement bracket. We're going to go ahead and clean all this off because the way you have to drain and get the oil filter off, this leaks oil straight down on top of the hydro. So we're going to clean this up with some Super Clean Quick just to get rid of some of the nastiness, because why not? Because we're here. And then, again, the most worrisome part, honestly, for me, is this front bracket here, where this bolt is like twisted. Hopefully you guys can see it. This bolt is twisted in that bracket. That bracket also is not broken. However, it looks like the bolt completely has walked out of its home. So we're going to have to get that out of there, which is going to be fun. So we're going to replace what brackets we have to. I'm going to for sure replace this bracket and replace this bracket. The other ones, we may wait until there's other issues on this side, but we need to get this disassembled and just see where we're at. Just so it's easier, because this is already making things loose to want to drop. Let's go ahead and take off the rear first. Take this pin out of here. This should lift up. Get this out of the way. Let's take this top bolt out. Let's try to get this bracket out, so we can replace it down here. Get the back of this supported. This is the bracket that was broken. Again, the stuff that was replaced with it really isn't any thicker, but maybe it holds up better. I don't know. That's all we can do for the price. Let's try it. I could re-weld this one if I wanted to, but that's a bad stress point, and it's probably just going to break again if I do that. All right, we got the bolts put all back in. Everything is snugged up. Everything seems to be working fine. Can't complain too much there. We're going to clean this up here in a minute. Need to quick change this bracket out just because it was easier. So now the actual mower is supporting this whole like transmission. So we'll pull these 4 bolts out quickly, replace them, and have this new bracket in place as well. Up here where this bolt was at, apparently it wasn't loose. It sheared itself off. Well, So we're going to be reusing that one. Apparently it broke off at some point down here, and well, that's why that's an issue. So this bracket's okay. Hopefully the rest of these bolts down here are all right. I'm going to clean this out and take a closer look. We'll put that new bolt and nut in here and tighten this back up. We'll save this bracket for another day. It looks okay and is not much thinner gauge than what the new kit came with compared to this bracket and the one on the rear. And upon further inspection, that one over there is also loose. So hopefully we can take that one out and fix it as well. Putting a new bolt in there with some new washers, a lock washer, and a nylon nut because I don't want that coming out again, ever. Brand and new. Yeah, this thing is more than twice as thick. To give you an idea of the thickness differences, this is your 240 thousandths of an inch thick the new ones are, and the old ones are 135, so almost 100 thousandths of an inch, or 0.1 inches thicker, nearly double. Oh, no paint behind that bracket. All right, we got that on. Off. I'm just replacing this while we're here because why not? Let's go ahead. I'm going to spritz a little super clean on here to help clean some of this up. This stuff does a really good job of cleaning up grease off stuff. We'll spray some on here. We'll rinse it off with some water, but just to help get some of that off of there. All that motor oil coming down inside of this. Again, just some, why not? While we're here, clean this up. Dose it down good, and then we'll wipe it and rinse it with some water. Give it a quick rinse with some water here. Again, not to beat a dead horse here, just rinse off a little water. Get all that can off of there. Does a great job just cleaning it up real quick like. Thanks Super Clean for sending over the product for today. Always use this stuff around the property. It's very handy. It does a phenomenal job. Just make sure you're wearing the correct PP when you're doing this. Try to keep it off your hands, especially if they're sensitive. Nice. Much more gooder than it was before. Got this side all buttoned up. Got this cleaned up pretty decent. Didn't obviously get in with a toothbrush, but it's better. Everything's reattached. All the bolts are back in. New bracket on here, new bracket on here, new bolt down here. Tightened up the lower bolt down below here because this one was also loose. And now everything's ready to go back together. Happy with that. Let's roll the wheel back on. This side's done. I'm not going to bore you guys with the other side. I'm going to double check everything, make sure everything's tight, and replace as needed. Let's get this off the jack stands. Lo and behold, this side's also loose. Good design. Same with the bottom bolt. So that's probably where the problems originate from, and they just propagate. But I don't remember seeing anywhere about needing double check bolts like that. That's crazy. You'll also notice how this side is much cleaner because none of that oil drops down from the oil filter change. So we're still gonna go down and clean this out quick. Make sure you get all the grass cleaned out while we're here and change out this back bracket. I'll put a picture here on the screen of how to route this just so it's easier to see. But it all goes around the outside pulleys in front of this last tensioner, which pulls tension on it. The last piece of the puzzle is getting this spring back over to here. I went ahead and bought a spring puller. Didn't have any. I know it makes life easier if you have one. You can use needle nose pliers, whatever you want to do. But this just makes things a little bit simpler. Doing this, and well, I went simpler. Okay, that spring back on now. Everything seems tight. All the belts are on. So we should be good to go. Get the hydros back moving. So that should be it. I gotta get the neck pulleys put back on. Other than that, we are up and at it. All right. Good success. Now here's the final shape of the belt. It wasn't broken, but the cogged teeth started coming off. Had a lot of dry rot and stuff on it too, so it was time for its replacement. That was just a symptom of the fact that it wouldn't move. And so just like that, we got this thing all fixed up. Took me about probably 2 hours to do this whole, bracket change out, get that belt on. Everything's back to normal. We're gonna clean the deck up, get the guards back on, and get to mowing. Hope you guys found this video informative and helpful. I'll catch you guys on the next one.